Hi friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with C Zook Stitch, and today is Saturday, January 20th, 2024. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm really glad that you are here spending part of your day or your evening with me. It has been a wild week. I know throughout the country has had wild weather, even if it wasn't like, some people were telling me who lived in Florida that even, they weren't getting the snow, but they were getting very, very strong winds, and it's been a mess throughout the country. It was a mess here all week. We got about 4/10 of an inch of ice, just pure ice, which is a lot of ice. So we were supposed to start our spring semester of classes this week, but due to inclement weather, we did not. They kept canceling each day. So which is the right decision. I live a little bit south of Portland, Oregon, so I'm in a suburb, I guess. It is. I don't know why I said I guess, but it's pretty far. It's pretty far from Portland. But so we warmed up a little bit faster than Portland proper did, and so I'm looking out my window right now, and today is really the first day that the streets look completely fine. There's still some ice, like in the grass and in certain spots where the sun doesn't hit. But we got rain a little bit earlier than Portland did, which helped melt the ice. I hear Portland is still very much a mess. I was supposed to have brunch with a friend today, and we had to cancel because they said that the streets in Portland are just very much still a mess. So I did not lose power, which I am very grateful for. I know I mentioned last week that we had a storm about 3 years ago. I was living in a different area. I was living in an area that had more large trees that knocked down power, and I was without power for 7 days. So I did not lose my power at all. It definitely flickered, and I definitely thought I was going to go out a few different times. We basically had 3 different ice storms that moved through. There was one on Saturday. I think the other one was Monday or Tuesday. And then we had another one on Thursday, I think. My boss did lose power for 4 days, and then the power came on and they immediately had a burst pipe. There are a lot of trees that have fallen on power lines, down power lines, impassable roads, just 4/10 of an inch of ice, which is a lot. It's not as much as I had last time when I lost my power. I think we had closer to an inch. It's just a lot. And it's heavy, and it brings down trees, and we've had a lot of rain, which already saturates the soil and all that. It's been a wild week. So each day, I still worked from home, of course, but we didn't have any classes, which like I said, I do think it was the right decision. I live on top of a hill, and campus is on top of a different hill. So I would have to go down one hill and up another hill in order to get to work. And it was just too dangerous. And our campus has a lot of old trees. They're beautiful, but it caused a lot of problems on campus. So we did not have our first week of classes. So next week, I'm sure we'll start next week. We're supposed to be in the 40s now. So things should melt and people should get their power back and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's been an interesting week for sure. So you'll see there are missing pieces behind me because I told you last week I was going to show them to you up close and personal. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, that's a little mug that I use to hold up one of the pieces because I only have one of these. I took the other one to work. I should bring it home. And just for an event, and I never brought it home. And this piece I'm about to show you doesn't sit really well in it. I think it's just a little too heavy or whatnot. Anyway, this is the first piece I want to show you that sits back there. This, I don't have my information on it. I don't know why. I don't know where it went. I don't have my little note card on it. But this is called Winter Birds, and it is by Twin Peak Primitives. I don't know. It's probably it looks like a 32 count though. I say 28 count dove gray. It might be a 28 count dove gray. It might be a 32 count something. I don't know how long it took me either because I don't have that information. I did get it framed at Acorns and Threads in this beautiful frame, which I think is glorious. Pretty sure I used all the called for colors because that's usually what I do. But I loved it. And I love that it's a winter piece that you can keep out. So that is a close of that. Winter Birds by Twin Peak Primitives. And look at those leaves in the tree. Like, they're so pretty. It's so pretty. So there's that piece. And then the other piece I have behind me, I do have my note card for. All right, this one, which a lot of you saw, this is also framed by Acorns and Threads. A lot of you saw me working on this for a very long time. Look how that frame is so perfect for it. So this is a Stony Creek, and it is called Winter Friends Welcome. This took me 61 hours to complete. I stitched this on 28 count vintage blue Whisper. And I started it November 10th in 2020, and I finished it December 2nd, 2022. This is from the summer 2020 issue of Stony Creek magazine. But search for Winter Friends Welcome because you may be also able to buy the chart just separately without buying the magazine. It says Welcome Friends in this area where the trees are. There's a tree on each side, and then it says Welcome Friends in the middle. I took that out, and I just put in a bunch of trees and found buttons that fit, and there's a little charm. The charm says Merry Xmas. It's very, very subtle. I love it. It is a Stony Creek, which means a lot of back stitching. I don't know if I finished the back stitching. Too late now. I'm wondering if there isn't back stitching up here that I forgot to put in. I mean, it's framed. It is what it is. But it's a Stony Creek, so there's a lot of back stitching, a lot of color changes, but it's so pretty. It's so good. I love it. There are some beads. Around the wreath, there's some beads. These holly berries are beads. And then, of course, all the buttons and the charm. I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces. Okay. So those are the two pieces that will be sitting up behind me until we get into more Valentine's Day, I guess. Okay. Other things. There's a lot. There are a lot of great comments, as always. But Kathy asked about a piece that she says that she hasn't seen in a while. And she's right. She hasn't seen it in a while because I haven't worked on it in a while. I didn't touch it at all last year. I honestly don't really have plans to work on it this year, but maybe I will. It is in the Ultimate Cross Stitch Cat and Dogs issue. This is volume 21 from 2019. But I think these charts, they just take different themed charts from various magazines and put them all together. So this is the chart called Warm Welcome. I think this is what you were talking about, Kathy. Warm Welcome. It is designed by Joanne Aston. And I'll just show you my progress. Here's my progress on it. So I do need to pull it out. I do. Some half stitches going on. That blue sky is half stitches. But yeah, you can see it's just like a mess of flowers, which I love. But you're right, I should pull it out because I do really like it. So I think that's what you were talking about, Kathy. Okay, last week I showed that I had bought a couple of Quaker flag charts from Vifsters. A lot of you were like, yes, we love Vifsters. Vifsters. Vivsters. It's on Etsy. She does these beautiful Quaker flag charts of several countries. Maria said there's actually a worldwide sale starting January 26th. It's hashtag 2024 Quaker flag sale. So if you want to join, feel free to join. I don't think I'm going to join right now. Hopefully it's when you can join later because I do want to finish my other like flag pieces before I start on these. But worldwide Sal, January 26th, hashtag 2024 Quaker flag Sal. So thank you, Maria, for that information. I didn't know that. Then Iris asked, well, what's a Quaker? Which I think is a great question. And like, I know it when I see it, but how do you explain it, right? So I did a little bit of research, and it's very complicated, and there's not much on it, on a Quaker motif. Now, Quaker Samplers. So I have a page I printed. I did do some research to try to find it. So this is on Quaker Samplers, which is more like the Quaker people and their samplers, right? So, but there is some interesting things that we can talk about in just a minute. So Quaker samplers can be identified by commonly occurring elements such as meandering vine border and asymmetrical floral sprays. I think asymmetrical is really key here. Also, a slender version of the Roman alphabet that does not contain a V was a Quaker favorite. Motifs were usually arranged in an asymmetrical fashion or a centering of a predominant motif, such as a house. We've all seen samplers with a big house in the middle, with non-mirrored images flanking it in a balanced way. This is a diversion from the English sampler, which favored a mirror-imaged, less organic effect. Quaker samplers have a leafy look to them, created by densely positioned floral motifs. Birds and bee skips were also popular images. Registries, names, or initials of family members are often present as well, which is common throughout samplers. I'm going to leave a link. There's a lot more information, but I'm going to leave a link down below where I found this information from. And it's very interesting to read through. It's just a lot. I mean, I could teach a whole course on it, right? So, but what I want to show you is a very big sampler. So having read that, this is, what is this one? Spring Quakers by Rosewood Manor. Now, this is not necessarily a sampler per se, right? There's words on it. I don't know if you can see that, and I'm running out of room here. Maybe that's a little better, if I can get rid of that. Nope, that's worse. There are words like flower names throughout it, but you can kind of see there's these random floral motifs throughout, right? It's very asymmetrical. I mean, it all fits in a rectangle, but there's nothing symmetrical necessarily about it. And also they have a lot of the kind of, not necessarily octagon, but the shapes. The Quaker, like a Quaker motif, is a shape that has usually floral elements put into the shape. Sorry, this is not working quite as well. But so you can kind of see some of the, if this was a proper sampler, you can see kind of some of the same elements in this piece. I hope that helps, Iris. I think it's a really great question. And I know that there's a really robust history of all the types of samplers. I think of Quakers more as a motif than, I mean, they are samplers too, right? But what is a Quaker motif? Well, it's probably asymmetrical, like we have seen. It has the vines, it has the floral elements. So I hope that helps. I'll put the link down below. You can read through it in your own time, and I think it's very interesting. So that was that question. And then Jackie commented on my Facebook group, actually, Caesar Stitch, which we have a fun little Facebook group. We are starting, and I'm glad, Jackie, I'm glad you mentioned this, but I wanted to mention, we are starting this chart. The Snuggle is Real. It's a Hannah Dale design, and it is in the December 2023 Just Cross Stitch magazine. We're starting it on Valentine's Day. It is not a big piece. It is 69 high by 120 wide. There is back stitching in it, but oh my gosh, I love it. Jackie pointed out that there is a thread and fabric pack if you go to Bothy Threads, which is a UK company, she said it's still reasonably priced even when you pay for shipping and taxes and all that coming from the UK. That has all the threads that you need, because the threads are kind of the called for threads. There is some DMC, there's Anchor, there's Madeira. So there is a DMC conversion for everything, which I just did the DMC conversion, but Jackie said, oh, she went ahead and ordered the thread pack straight from Bothy Threads, which is a great resource. So thank you. And you can also get the fabric, which is 14 count brown speckle Aida. And this is what a lot of the Hannah Dales are on, the speckled fabric. I'm just pulling a fabric from my stash, but Jackie, thank you so much for letting us know that that is available if you just want to buy the thread pack and use everything that's called for and not use the conversion. So that's a really great hack as well. So thank you so much for that. I did upload a flip through of just cross stitch. It looks like they have changed their magazine to be quarterly, which I think is a great change for them. But they have more patterns in each issue. So I'm imagining you end up with the same number of patterns at the end of the year. So I did a flip through of I think it was the spring version, and I thought it was a really great flip through, a great magazine. I mean, flip through was a flip through, but the magazine itself I thought was really great. There's several that I want to stitch. The quality, I can tell the quality has definitely improved. I think there are, I mean, I didn't sit there and count how many patterns, but there seemed like a lot of patterns, like a lot of high quality patterns. The paper has improved, which I have mentioned before. So check it out. I know some people have been kind of on the verge of like, do I still want the Just Cross Stitch magazine or not? Go check out my latest flip through. It's the video right before this one, and just give it a try. They are making changes, which I think is a good thing, that they're listening to customers and that they are working to improve. I think that's great. Okay, should we get into the stitching? 17 minutes in. Okay, so we are still working on Bringo, which I'll talk about in a minute. I did work on, this is so funny, I don't even know why I'm sharing this. So Happy New Year is my 25/7 piece by the Victoria Sampler. Oh, I forgot to mention. Well, I'll bring that up in a. Well, okay. So Year of Whips. Let me just pause here. Year of Whips is a group that is run by Melanie Watkins of the Soulful Stitcher on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook and you ask to join the Soulful Stitcher, make sure you answer the questions. She runs a group or a year-long challenge called Year of Whips, which you've probably heard me talk about before. It runs January 18th through December 18th. Her birthday is January 18th. And you have to do a minimum. This year, she upped the minimum to 8. So you have to pick 8 pieces and you have to complete half of them. You can choose more than 8 if you want to, which I did. I chose 16, but you have to complete half of them. So I have to complete 8 to be entered to win into the drawing. Well, last year, I think I did 12. I think I picked 12. I finished all 12, which is great. And I won a gift certificate to 123 Stitch for 2023's Year of Whips, which I was so excited about. So thank you so much, Melanie, for running a super great. It's such a great idea, and it's just a really fun way to get some whips. And especially, Melanie also thought up the countdown to 50, which I am joining her on. So trying to finish 50 projects before I turn 50 in 2027. So that's why my number is so high for Year of Whips, because like I need to finish 17 projects a year starting March 22nd of this year in order to get to my 50 in 50. So we'll see. Hang tight. Okay. So I won for 2023. So I won a gift certificate to 123 Stitch, which I'm super excited. I'm already playing around. I have some ideas. I'm super excited. So thank you so much, Melanie. Okay. So Melanie also runs a group called Cross Stitch 25/7, which you can also join. It's separate from the Soulful Stitcher. where you stitch 25 minutes or 25 stitches a day on a piece. So my 25/7 piece for the first half of January was Happy New Year by the Victoria Sampler. I showed this last week. I had finished the Father Time. I think this is going to be on my Year of Whips for next year. And then, do you see this this band right in here? These little, they are satin stitches, the little triangles. I don't even know why I'm showing you this. Here. Do you see anything there? No. It's literally the same. I put those little satin stitches in and took them out 5 different times. And then I was like, oh, look, half the month is over. I'm going to stitch my 25/7 project. So it literally looks no different. But I thought it was funny to show you. I can't get it to line up here and here. I can't get it to line up properly. So that is what I am trying to work on. I could get the satin stitches fine, but I can't get it to line up where it's supposed to between, and then it looks funny, right? Because it's, so, I don't know. Another question. Oh, thank you all for your help on Roll-A-Frame. Several of you sent me videos to watch, which is super helpful. A couple of you reminded me about, they have these tensioners on the side. I have some, so I pulled those out, and it definitely helped. So thank you all for your help on this. My next question for you. So I'm going to put this piece away. I'm not planning on working on it until like next January, probably. Can I take it completely off? I mean, I know I can take the side bars off. Can I take this completely off the end bars too and just put it away and use the bars for something else? Or do I have to, like, is it going to, like, because I know you put little holes in the fabric when you know, the little nails that you put, that you grip the fabric into. Let me know if I can take this off the frame completely and then just put it put it back on the frame in next January when I pull it out. So let me know if that's okay, if I can do that. Okay, thank you. Okay, so my next 25/7 piece is I'm participating in the Garon Focus on a Designer this year. There's nothing special you need to do, share your progress and all that, but the designer for January is Lila's Studio. It might be Lila, I never know. But I'm working on this with the needle too, and I am in this first block right here. Well, I have part of this done, part of this, and I'm working on the first block. So I pulled this out. This is on 32 count vintage Sahara, I think is what it is. So I pulled this out and I was working on the waves. I did a thread down here. This is 24 hours of cross stitch weekend, which is a challenge put on by Jen Lee of 24 hours of cross stitch. Whenever there's a 24, I completely forgot that this was a 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. It's the first one of 2024, and it's been a weird week. So I've been wanting to work on this more than 25 minutes a day. So it's like, perfect. So last night I worked on the Bringo call for last night. And then I didn't get, whenever there's a 25 or 24 hours of cross stitch weekend, I try to get 18 hours in. I can't do 24 hours. So 18 hours is 6 hours a day. I did not get 6 hours in last night. I think I got like 4.5 maybe. But this got some extra love last night while I was watching Dateline. But anyway, I put in an extra row here to kind of carry the border down. I got the waves across to the edge, and then I started doing all this blue in here. I did get this little fishy in. He needs his eyeball yet. But there's a couple more fish and a mermaid. And then there's a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Let me show it to you again. So you can see what the block. I mean, I don't think I'll get the block done. See, there's a mermaid. There's a couple more fish. There's some houses. Quite a bit of stitching. I do think this part will go faster, but I mean, it's going to be so great when it's done. But I'm just working on it a little bit here and there, and I really enjoy working on it. And it's nice to give it some love because Otherwise, I probably really wouldn't have pulled it out. Like, this is the problem with these big pieces that I start. Like, sometimes when they're so far from a finish like this, it's like, oh, well, it's not going to be on my year of whips, obviously, because that's way too far to finish. But so it's nice to work on a little bit and just kind of push it towards the finish. So that is with the needle. So that is what I'll be working on for Garon Focus on a Designer. That is what I'll be working on for the rest of this month for 25/7. Now, for Bringo. Bringo is a game that it's in Magazine Monthly Challenge, which is a Facebook group that I co-run with my friend Robin. And in January, we play a bingo game called Bringo. Bringo because it's cold where we are. I know it's not cold everywhere. I know our friends in the Southern Hemisphere, it's not cold. But we give you prompts, and you match your pieces to fit those prompts. So I did get another bingo. Oh, I have 3 bingos. I didn't know that. So I have one here, and one here. Whoops, one here. Straight lines are hard for me. So we are getting there. I mean, it is January 20th, so we, we should be getting bingos now. Okay, so the first one that I worked on is in this magazine, The World of Cross Stitching. This is issue 315. And the piece is Miniature Marvels. It is designed by Jenny Van de Wiel, and it is on my year of whips for 2024. So I would like to finish this. And if it's on my year of whips, it's on my countdown to 50. How about that? We'll just do it that way. So I worked on the skating rink and some motifs down here and all that. So I'll show this to you. So this is on 28 count Dove Gray, which I just have in my stash. And look, I have a whole nother piece on the back. But let me show you. Anyway, this is where I got to. So this is what it looks like. I am getting there. This was called for, it was called 3 times I worked on it this week. One call was a piece that somebody else chooses for you. So Candy chose this piece for me. One was where you roll a die or pick a random number from a random number generator between 1 and 6, and you stitch on that number of motifs. So I got the number 2, so I stitched on 2 motifs on here, or 2. A piece that reminds you of classroom studies. And there's a school on here, so I use this. It is also for the magazine monthly. We also do a monthly theme and acrostic. Our theme for this month is to grandmother's house. And our acrostic for this month is SLEIGH, SLEIGH. And this is the E in sleigh for evergreens, because there's a whole bunch of evergreen trees. I put in, so my 2 motifs for rolling a 2 was actually the snowman and this lady with the baby carriage. I also put in this other side of the fence, which could have counted. And then I put in the skating rink, which I did have to frog because it didn't line up. I put in that bench. I put in the 3 skaters. And you can see I started the fill-in of the ice. And then there are 3 trees around it. But this didn't match up where it was supposed to. So I had to rip out all this to about here before I got it figured out. I still don't know what I did, but, it works now. So this is about as big as it will be. I mean, there's nothing more onto the side. There is this border is repeated down here. So I'll do that later. But this is where we're going. So we have to complete the pond, and then there's some more over here, and then that bottom border will be done. It is like the little tiny motifs do take time, right? Because there's multiple colors in each of those little ice skaters, right? There might be 4 or 5 colors. So it is a little fiddly, but that's what makes it so great and so cute and why I love this piece so much. So that's Miniature Marvels. I am now done with that for the month. Don't worry, it will come back out, but we are done with it for the month. The other one we are done with for the month is Santa's Sleigh. This was a new start this month. This is by Nora Corbett. I worked on this 3 times this month. This was called Twice. Once for your favorite holiday, and once for a mode of transportation, it was called for. And it counts for the theme, which is to grandmother's house, because you could get to grandmother's house in a sleigh, and I believe there's a song about it. So I filled in a lot more of this like dark gray color and this lighter gray color. And I don't know if you could tell, this little silver is Krynic, kind of sparkles in real life. And then I started filling in the Krynic in there, and then I ran out of time. All these holes are beads. All these will be beads when we get to that point. So that is my start. I think that's a good start on the sleigh. And I can show you, like, it's like right in here. So the light gray piece is just part of the sleigh with the Krynic in there. And then there's more Krynic over here. So that is Santa's sleigh. This is probably on my countdown to 50, even though it's not on my year of whips this year. Next up was, okay, for the month. So that one will go away. Next up is Quaker Christmas 2. So I could have probably just showed this as an example of Quaker instead of trying to show you a big framed finished piece. But you see all these little motifs that are floral in design. And then there's some random floral type motifs scattered throughout. But this is by Bygone Stitches. It is called Quaker Christmas 2 Songs of the Season. I am not using the called for. I am using Vicky Clayton silk in Perfect Red is what it's called. And I got the 25-yard floss. And I am stitching this on a 28 count vintage smoky white. I'm not sure why I did 28 count again. I think it might just be because that's what I had, or that's what Acorns had in stock at the time, because I got the fabric from Acorns. I love this so much. When I tell you I love this so much. So the call for this one was stitch on something related to music. So this is all songs of Christmas, songs of the season. So what I did is I put "O Come All," and it says "Ye Faithful" is over here, but I didn't get to that. And then I started in on this motif here in this border. So this isn't quite done yet, but my goal is it'll be called "One More Time." And when it is called, I will finish up that motif and then see where we go from there. But I love it. The called for is Gentle Art Sampler threads, and they call for 2 colors. One is in Currant, the color Currant, which would be the red, and the other is Blue Spruce, also by Gentle Arts, which would be, I guess, like the green, and I think it's all the song titles are in green, and everything else is in red. I saw the model of this at Colorado Cross Stitcher when I was there in last May, I believe it was. And it was all in red, and I loved it so much. So this was a new start this month as well. But it's gorgeous. It is huge, though. It is 240 wide by 350 high. And again, this is what it will look like. This picture does not do it justice. So, yeah, I love it. I love stitching in all red. Okay, next, the next call was your favorite designer. And this one also counts for I. It's a year in stitches. Designed by the Victoria Sampler. Now, like many of us, we have multiple favorite designers. So I chose this one because I wanted to start it this month anyway. I am on number 1. I actually restarted it on 28 count Dove Gray so that the white would show it better. Now, this is done for the month. It will come back out. I like it a lot better. This is what Sarah's Stitching Mommy Stitchers on. I'm not as far as I was in my last piece. I got the house done and all that, but this is good. I'm happy with how the white is showing up on it. So we restarted that. This is also for the I in Sleigh, which is for a year in stitches is what the I stands for. And then the only other acrostic letter I need to do is the L, which will be With the Needle by Lila Studio, which I want to get 6 hours in before I check that off. Okay, so that's everything that I stitched on. Let me pause, let me clean up, let me put the pictures back up, and then let me grab my haul. Okay, we are back. So first up, I have a holiday card. This is from the Sunshine Stitchers, EJ and Shelia. So very cute. I love this idea of just all their stitchy goodness throughout the year. So that was fun. So thank you, ladies, so much. That was fun to get. Now, I joined up for Pine Needle Crafts Itty Bitty Bowl, it is called this year. Last year, I saw Candy, the 614 Stitcher. She showed hers every month. She had it was a little bit larger bowl. I don't know what it was called, but it was through Pine Needle Crafts where they send you something every month and you stitch it. This month, or this year, they are doing what's called an Itty Bitty Bowl. So it's a smaller bowl. We got the bowl. Oh, and Candy, you had asked about the color of the bowl. Because I guess last year you had a choice of a white or a wood bowl. This year there was no choice. Everybody got the same wood bowl. There was no white bowl option. So we got this. This came in January. So obviously you only received the bowl once. And then we got the kit. So I'm going to have to figure out how to incorporate this each month because I'm going to want to stitch on it. Like Candy was so good last year with stitching on it each month and got most of them complete and displayed. So you get a sprig. You get some finishing. There's some Chanel and some, it feels like a really pretty linen ribbon. You get a little card to put into your bowl as a display. So they are really giving you everything. They give you a couple book pages, which I'll show you what you use that for. And then it's 16 count Aida. So you get a square of that, some finishing fabric. And then you get another one that is for, I guess, maybe it goes this way, I think, for a little bag. And then you put this in the little bag. So let me show you what you'll be stitching. So this is called Bitty Bowl Club. This is for February. So the first month is February, not January. So you can see how they made these rolls out of the book pages. You stitch this love chart is one of the pieces. And then this bag that you make with the sprig in it. And then there's a little postcard. And so you make a cute little display. And these aren't big. They're, I think, like 40 by 40. And they give you directions on how to put everything together and make everything. Yeah, 40 by 40 and 40 by 40. And then they give you instructions on how to finish everything. So I'm going to have to figure out in my plans how to finish these. Or like, you know, where I'm going to start them and all that. I am thrilled with this. I loved last year's. I am kicking myself for not getting last year's. I mean, I think you can still get the charts on their website. This is all through Pine Needle Crafts. So give their shop a call. They're in Utah. I don't know if it's too late to join or not, but they will be closing. If it's not too late to join, like, do it soon because they will be closing very soon. There's also a key that goes on somewhere. So I'm going to put that in there so I don't lose it. So that was the Bitty Bowl, which I'm super excited about. And it will have me work on my own finishing. Next up, Susan, bless her heart, sent me for Christmas a gift certificate to Annabella's, which was so fun. And so Susan, you are a doll and very generous. So I picked up some fun things from Annabella's. So the first thing I got is by GBW Designs. It is called Christmas Smalls. And there are 5 designs in here. So there's this little wreath scissor fob. There's this little Christmas tree. I wonder what else. I didn't know there were more. Oh, yeah, there's flowers. There's a couple There's 3 flowers, the wreath, and the Christmas tree. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look how pretty these are. And then there's a berry, too. I mean, all of that in this little booklet. So I love that. I love GBW Designs. And then I got, also from Annabella's, which Annabella's has a shop. So here's the information. Oh, Etsy shop. Here we go. Just Annabella's shop. That's where, I don't know where I did. I don't know where I ordered it from. It was from Annabella's. And then, because I'm obsessed with Le Petit Croix, I got this. This is Penguin with his chocolate. The cup says tasty. I love it. I love the chart is all in color. There's back stitching, but we can do back stitching. And then I got Christmas Mouse, also by Le Petit Croix. Look how cute he is. I mean, that's a big one. 112 by 110. So I got those to add to my stash. And then I have one more piece of haul, or stitchy kindness, really, but that will come in the giveaways. So let me jump over to giveaways. So first up, I'm still waiting to hear from the winner of this, Deborah Pappas. So Deborah, can you please email me your mailing address and I can get this sent out to you? You won this from the 5-year Flosstube giveaway. I know that I'm going to give a little bit more time because I know that some people are experiencing crazy weather and might have lost power and all that. But Deborah Pappas, Pappas, you won this and I need your address. And the 2 sewing kits, I still need, I know both of you, but I need your address. Sally and Lynette Kinney, I need your address, please. Sally, Redwood and Rain. If you can send me your address at czikstitch@gmail.com, that would be great, and I can get those in the mail to you. So, let's do some more giveaways. I have a whole bunch. They're all little, but I thought, okay, Valentine's Day is coming, spring is coming. I'm very much an in-season stitcher for the most part. I mean, sometimes I have so much winter and Christmas stitching that I kind of do that all year round. So I probably should have done this as a giveaway like back in December so that you can get this done. But anyway, this is a little kit. It comes from everything you need. It's called Love is in the Air. It has the floss. It has, it's an Emma Congdon. It's just like a freebie kit that I get from the World of Cross Stitch magazine. So everything you need should be in there. Wooden dowel rod, strand and cotton threads, turquoise felt, Ada Baker's twine. So you get everything to finish it like that. So if you want a chance, this will be open worldwide. Say love. And please don't say like giveaway or anything like that. Open worldwide, and I will draw the winners next Saturday for these. So love. This one is another kit. This is a bookmark kit. I mean, you don't have to use it as a bookmark. But I thought this was good for summer. See, I'm thinking ahead. This is a lighthouse. So if you like lighthouses or like that vibe, again, it's a kit. So everything you need comes in there. 14 count Ada in all of these kits. So if you want this, say light, L-I-G-H-T, light. Next, this is just a chart. This is not a kit. This is a really cute. It's called It's Time for Tea. It's by Doreen Jones. And it says, tea makes everything better. I would even just do the teapot and the floral. But it's just the chart, so you don't get any of the materials. But it's a really nice chart. They give you instructions on how to make it as a hanging. And the whole chart is in color. So say T-A. Next up is Thinking About Easter. This is by Tiny Modernist. Robin sent this to me ages ago, years ago. And I thought I was going to stitch it, and I'm just not. And I asked her if she wanted it back, and she said, nope, go ahead and use it as a giveaway. So thank you, Robin. This is called Easter Wreath by Tiny Modernist. I just don't think I'm going to stitch it. Oh, I should tell you how big these are. This is 92 by 91. It's small. So if you would like this, say wreath. And again, this is just the chart. Next up is, I bought this. I thought I was going to stitch it. I'm just not going to stitch it. It's very cute, though. So this is by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It is called Home Tweet Home. And it is a great, like, spring design. It is also very small. It is 47 by 41. And say tweet, TWEET, if you would like to win this. And then the other bit of stitchy kindness that I mentioned, my aunt wrote me this lovely card. The aunt that I saw at Christmas, it is my mom's sister, Margie. She had a second book. So I got this book for Christmas from my cousin and my aunt called Creepy Cross Stitch. And she said that she had a second book. Somehow Amazon messed up the delivery and she ended up with two, and they said just keep the second book. They didn't need it to be returned. She's like, well, I don't need a second book. So she's like, would you want to give it as a giveaway? And I was like, absolutely. So this is from my Aunt Margie. So thank you, Aunt Margie. Now, this is like, if you like Halloween, this is going to be a good book for you. If you don't like stitching Halloween, you probably don't want this book. So let me show you. It's not like super creepy. I mean, that's a little creepy, Together Forever, but like, that's Halloween, right? I'm just trying to show you some of the charts, or not the charts, the finished products. So they're like Halloween pieces, definitely. Here's one with a white rat, right? Which I think this will appeal to some people. So because of the weight of this, unfortunately, I think this has to be US only. And I apologize about that. It's a full book. It's quite heavy. So if you are, say, creepy, this is a very big contrast to everything we've given away so far. But say creepy if you want a chance to win that. So that is all of the haul and the giveaways. Plans, which I didn't pull anything for plans. So plans, I'm going to continue working on with the needle too for my 25/7 piece. We are finishing up Bringo. So Thursday is the last day. It goes through the 25th of January. And then we have the last 6 days at the end of January to do any makeup work that you need to. But Thursday is the last day. So I don't know what I'll be working on most of this week. But today's call was a piece that's inspired by a pet. So I will be pulling out Black Cat Season, which of course I didn't pull to show you. You've seen it recently. It is by Lindy Stitches. And it is inspired by my black cat, Jack, that you saw at the beginning of last week's video. And then once Bringo is done, I'm going to be pulling out Winter Montage and give it, I think I will only have 3 days to give it this month. Because usually I work on it on Sundays as my Sunday seasonal piece. But with Bringo, I'm just going to give it 3 days in a row to work on. So that will be coming out. And that is everything. I think classes will be starting. Classes will be starting this week, which is great, or this coming week, and hopefully we'll thaw out. I mean, we're pretty well thawed out. I think I'm going to go to Joann's. I don't usually get cabin fever at all because I am very much a homebody, but I think it's because I haven't had the choice to leave, really, because of all the ice. I'm like, I need to leave. So I think I'm going to run to Joann's. I got a gift card for Christmas that's burning a hole in my pocket, so I think I'm going to do that. While this video is uploading. Otherwise, I hope you have a great week. I hope you are staying safe from any weather that